sharing it now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of that Respect the Combat. Oh, wait, hold on. We just went live now. I guess it was on a little bit of delay. Sorry, that all got messed up. It's been a weird day. Happy 4th of July, everybody. How are you doing today? We are here on a very special episode of Respect the Combat. Doing another exclusive interview. As stated last week, we'll be separating these more often. I promise I'll stop saying this once you all get more used to it. How y'all doing today? Hope everyone's enjoying their 4th of July. Hoping everyone's being responsible because I'm almost positive about 80% of you are probably already drunk. I'm not because I don't drink. I like my marijuanas. Anyway, now,
I mean, you have a kid.
Yes, I know I have a kid, but I make sure, okay, I don't do the marijuanas around the kid. Okay, I do the marijuanas away from the kid.
That's why I'm saying you don't drink on top of that.
Well, I honestly just don't like it. I really don't. I've never enjoyed drinking ever. I don't like the taste of liquor, the whole night. Anyway, now, on today's episode of Respect the Combat, we have another very special guest today. You have seen him on Ascend Pro Wrestling, Armbar Pro Wrestling, Old Wrestling, Power and Pride Pro Wrestling, and many other promotions around the Midwest United States. Referee Tyler Crowe, how you doing today, brother?
Pretty good. Just a little busy. A lot of errands and side stuff I had to do today.
Understood. I appreciate you still making the time to hop on. I know we had to do a few time changes due to me not remembering that my daughter had a 4th of July parade today, which I apologize about. But again, I appreciate you working with us very much.
Yeah.
Oh, no, not a problem.
Of course,
Anytime.
of course. So to start things off here, I mean, tell us all a little bit about yourself. I mean, what was it initially that made you want to break into the wrestling industry as a referee?
There wasn't a time where I didn't want to be a wrestler. But realistically, what happened between me switching from wrestler to referee was I had a whiplash concussion and I lost like 2 weeks of my memory. So I decided to stay as a referee after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I remember bits and pieces of the match and just telling my wife I don't remember anything from the last like couple weeks. And then after that, I did one, maybe two more matches, and I thought about it and just like, do I want to keep going with this and risk it even more
Mm-hmm.
and wind up like certain individuals that just can't remember anything or they have CTE and do horrific, terrible things? He doesn't deserve to be mentioned, but yeah. So
Right.
I just sat down, I talked to my wife, my dad, and a few other people, and it was just, and even my trainer, Cody Hawk, and it was decided it doesn't matter how many moves I know. If I'm not going to remember anything, play it safe. Just stay as a referee.
Right. That probably was a smarter decision, especially with the fact of what happened. And I'm sorry you had to go through that. That was probably quite scary to go through as well.
Yeah. I remember the point where it happens, and then just everything's a blur from then on.
My God. So, how long have you now been in the wrestling industry working?
A little over 13 years. I remember my first day of training. It was directly after, WrestleMania. It was the first Rock and Cena once in a lifetime match.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard, inklings of a school opening up in Dayton, Ohio, and who the trainer was, and then that's one of the things you always want to do is look up the trainer. Who did they produce beforehand? And I saw that it was HWA's former trainer, Cody Hawk. And then I was like, okay, I know HWA. I know the surf legend. Let's see who he's produced. And I was like, oh yeah, yep, John Moxley, I know him. Sammy Callahan, I know him. Pepper Parks, Gene Blonsky, I remember those guys from HWA. All right, this seems like a good deal. And so I sent Cody a message. This was during the original Rockstar Pro Wrestling era in like 2012, 2013.
Right.
And I just kind of went from there. I started training with the Great American Beast, still kind of a local guy, very underrated. And then the dude that is living the life that Val Venus can only dream of, Matt Brannigan, who's doing fantastic things over on the West Coast now.
Well, if you were to ask Val Venus himself, he probably would say something along the lines of, "Oh, he be carrying my bag and shining my boots back in my day." Fucking, oh God, Val Venus. That's someone I can go on a rant about, but we're not here to talk about Val
Same,
Venus, though.
of course.
Now, what would you say it was that, I mean, other than the fact of your injury, of course, was there anything else that influenced your decision to go the direction of referee instead of, say, ring announcer, commentator, anything of that nature?
I still wanted to contribute and be close to the action. I mean, I'm 5'6", and at that point, when I first started, I weighed 180 pounds, 160. It was very small. I could wear youth large t-shirts, like, just to give you an idea of how small I was. So I'd fit better as a referee. That way I would, make the big guys look big, and well, actually the small guys look big and then the big guys look even bigger. Like that whole size discrepancy, it just makes them look even more massive.
Right. And that is actually also a very good point, because that's obviously something a lot of promoters like to do, is they want to be able to portray their roster as these almost superhero like people. I don't know if that's necessarily the same with every promotion, but that's kind of the gist that I get off of it. Now, I've been noticing that you're sharing a lot of NWA stuff recently.
Yeah.
Are we going to possibly be seeing Mr. Crowe make an appearance at NWA 78?
Only as a fan.
Only as a fan. Okay.
Yeah. I have my gear with me, like, as always. That's
hey,
the
you never
advice
know.
that you never say. Always bring your gear, because you never know. But no, I'm there as a fan. A couple people I know and have worked with since they started wrestling, and even when I started wrestling, are going to be there.
Okay.
Jack Vaughn, Dalton McKenzie, the tag team, and then Carson Drake as well.
Yes. We actually had Carson Drake on here a few weeks ago. He's stellar, dude. Absolutely love him. Not gonna lie though, he had Donna's dying laughing like half the episode. like
Yeah,
Donna's. I'm
that
not
sounds
trying to
about
rib on
right.
you. I could just tell that there were times when he was on here with us that you were having difficulty keeping a straight face.
Carson is a
To
dude
be
that. Go ahead. Sorry.
to be fair, like with Carson, and I could tell like those little bit of like format changes that we did just for us when they came from Carson. I was like, I see where you're coming from, but I can also see like you can tell the interest level of somebody, but you could tell how Carson was dealing with that. Like, yeah, it was kind of funny.
Oh yeah, no, it was. And honestly, shout out to Carson, because he's the one that ended up actually influencing us to want to make this change with our workflow of how we run our interviews. So shout out to Carson Drake. Appreciate it. Ended up working out tremendously for us.
Quick question:
Now,
did you eat at the parade?
yes, I ate at the parade. It's called I have to take in 2,300 calories a day now. So, I mean, I can snack if I want to, especially if it's just pita chips.
I can hear it in the mic. That's why I'm saying it.
Oh, shit. I forgot to press the mute button when I was eating. My bad. All right. Now, Tyler, who you mentioned the fact that you have a few friends that are going to be at 78, Jack Vaughn, Dalton McKenzie, Hardway, Carson Drake. Who would you say has been one of your biggest influences in the wrestling industry thus far? I know you mentioned Cody Hawk, but is there anyone else besides Cody Hawk that you would consider a huge influence on your career?
Ben Ben Chimera, Brock Guffman, manager type. Guffman definitely. When I went to Louisville for training under Nick Dinsmore, Brock Guffman and Karn Alexander are the reason why I actually got onto OVW TV, because Guffman was putting me over to Nightmare Danny Davis, and then I had Karn Alexander also putting me over to Chris Package, Chip Danning now on NXT.
Very nice, very nice. So you've actually gone to work with OVW a bit also.
Yeah, about a decade ago. The probably funniest story I have there's Al Snow ribbing me. First day there on TV, introduced myself to everybody, Al included. Right before the show started for one of the dark matches, Al came up to me, shook my hand, and said, "Hi, my name is Al Snow," in front of everybody. So I had this look of, oh crap, I definitely messed up. And the Mexicutioner, well, Berto now, he was like, "Don't ever let that happen again." And then later on in the night, I went to Al, I apologized, and I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I thought I got you. Won't happen again. Definitely will do what I can to make this right." And he's like, "Oh no, you did get me. My daughter and Brock Guffman told me you were coming, so I just thought this would be hilarious."
That is so funny. Here, I got a story that'll make you feel a little better, because you definitely made a better first impression on Al Snow than I did on EC3.
Oh, yes, he did. Make him feel better.
Yeah, this will make you feel a lot better. I have been working with Exodus Pro Wrestling now for like about a year.
Yep.
And the first show I worked, I showed up around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And mind you, doors opened at 6. So
Yep.
they're already kind of pissed at the fact that, I'm there an hour before doors open.
Oh, no.
And 2, this was my first live event that I was working for wrestling. So I didn't get the memo of, hey, we're all black. Instead, I show up in cargo shorts, a white t-shirt, and sandals looking like your basic suburb dad. And,
oh, no.
Oh, it gets worse. I swear to God, it gets worse. Then, 30 seconds into the show, I stand directly in front of Hardcam.
Oh.
So EC3's introduction to me was, who the fuck is the guy in the white shirt standing in front of my fucking Hardcam? So then, after the show, I go backstage, and I go to introduce myself to him, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Eric. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself sooner. I've just, I got here a little late, so I was trying to get set up." And he's like, You're the one that stood in front of my hard cam. And I'm like, "Oh." And in my mind at this point, I'm like, well, this was nice. I'm fucked. I'm never going to be allowed to come back here again. And I profusely started apologizing. I'm like, "Yes, I know. I'm so sorry. I know I shouldn't have done that. It's my first time working a live event." And he's like, "It's okay. Just fucking don't do that again." And, we started talking. Never had that issue again. Since that show, I have now made sure that I always show up by at least noon. So then I'm there on time and everything's set up and all that jazz. Honestly, I'm just glad that he still lets me work there. Shout out to EC3. Thank you for not firing me on that day. And, actually talking to me. So, yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, fun times. And this was when I first got into the industry. Like, I'd say I had been in the industry officially for like 3 weeks at this point.
Right.
So,
oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm like, great. Well, this was the shortest run possible. But thankfully, they understood I'm a rookie. Thankfully, they understood, okay, this guy's a rookie. Like, give him some slack. But honestly, working with them's a fun time. Working with the NWA also for the last year has been a really fun time. And I'm thankful that they've had immense patience with me. But anyway, not here to talk about me.
What even made it worse was I just so happened to be watching, and I see him.
Oh my God, I forgot about this part.
clear as day in the hard cam, and I'm just like, are you stupid?
Yeah, I forgot. Don A's was actually watching the live stream of the show, and I just start feeling my phone vibrate on my thigh, and it's him texting me like, "Dude, you're a moron. Get out of the hard cam. They're gonna kill you."
Kill is an understatement.
Oh yeah.
I can safely
Yeah.
say I've never done that, but that's actually been my most uttered words in like the last 2 years. I've been on a run where, well, actually the last 3 years up until the past few months, I was always booked somewhere in the month or in the week. And I think the most uttered words I'd ever said is, "Your ass is in the hard cam. Turn, face the hard cam." Like, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, no, you never want to have your back to the hard cam. Absolutely never. You always want, especially when if you're facing the hard cam, and then there's also a zoom cam as well. You wanna eat the shit out of that crap. You want to love that camera. You want to make love to that damn camera.
It's always tricky, and like, it's sometimes, like Jake Oman once said, "You know what? There's a roaming cam. If you're stuck in a corner and you can't get out, fuck the hard cam. They can switch a camera. If you're in front of the roaming cam and you need to get around, forget that camera. There's another fucking camera there." Those were exact
Exactly.
words. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear or not.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, Omen was like, "Look, if you're in a weird position and they have more than one camera, fuck the camera. Get around them. Like, the worst thing outside of the camera, the worst thing you can be is stuck in a corner and your position's off."
Yep.
And it's one of the things I've been trying to instill in like a lot of like new refs I've been working with that are really into the business, because a couple places I work, they do TV or they do film. And I've always tried to say, think of it like a play. You should be in the background. And you should only come up front if you absolutely have to. And you can work your U where you're constantly facing the hard camera, but more often than not, be in the background. Those back two ropes, those back two corners, that's where you want to work most of the time. Is right there, and leave the rest of the ring to everybody else.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. So what would you say has probably been one of the more interesting matches that you've gone to work?
Do you want interesting good or interesting bad?
You know what? Let's hear both. Why not?
Interesting good. This was at a show a couple months back. It was in Trotwood, Ohio.
Okay.
Trotwood is fairly historic wrestling town. There's been a lot of WCW pay-per-views there. It was part of the Georgia Championship territories
Okay.
for quite some time, and then Crockett took it over too. But a couple months ago, Real One Enzo More was there. Heath Slater and Rhino were there, and I got to work with them. This is my first time working with those guys. There's a couple of like ECW dudes and WCW guys I've definitely worked with,
Hell yeah.
and a few WWE guys, but just working with them. And I went to Enzo and I was like, "Hey, what's the finish? Like, anything I need to see?" And he's like, "You know what? How long have you been in the business?" I was like, 13 years. He's like, "Good. You and I are going to call the match out there with these guys because you can tell they're green. So you, me, and was that Silas? Yeah, we're going to all just call it out there. I'm going to tell you the
Silas
spots,
Mason?
just relay them." I think so. I have to
Nice.
look the match up. I have no memory of anything.
You're fine.
But yeah, it was us three just kind of calling the match and relaying spots to the new guys. And for the post-mortem, went to Enzo and I was like, "Is there anything for me or at all, like advice, tips?" And he's like, "No, dude, you were perfect. Why are you here? Like, this is your level. You shouldn't be here. Like, your spacing, your message, like your shorthand was fantastic. You should not be here. You need to be further up."
That's amazing.
And then having that being told
Yes, very
like
evil, very
from
evil.
him, and then Heath and Rhino said pretty much the same thing later on when I got to work with them. So just having that validation, like I used to joke, if comparing it to baseball, I'm a AA player playing like stuck in the minor leagues where like the single A, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Dayton Dragon stuck playing a Dayton Dragon when I'm really like a Louisville Bat or a Toledo Mud Hen.
Okay.
Now that validation right there definitely gave me like, oh no, I'm a Detroit fucking Tiger. I'm a Cincinnati Red.
Hell yeah.
I should be in the majors. I shouldn't be playing career minor league ball.
No, I
So what do
completely.
I need to
Go ahead.
do to get to that level? And that's been the hard part.
Nah, dude, I'm not even gonna lie. Like making your way into this industry is hard. It really is. And you can even ask Don A's, like me getting into the NWA was complete luck.
Yeah,
Absolute 100% luck. I literally got in because I was trying to get Brian on our podcast, Brian Idol.
yeah.
That was literally the reason why I got in. I was trying to get him on my
Yeah.
podcast. 3 weeks later, he made a post saying he was looking for a web developer. I was just looking for some work. So I was like, hey, I'm a web developer. Calls me the next day and is like, hey, I need a website for the NWA. And I'm like, huh? So
Sometimes that's how it works. You can have all of the skill, but if you don't meet the right person at the right time, like you're not gonna get those opportunities.
right.
Right.
But
Because
I've
this
always
is
go
not
ahead.
a business of guarantees. This is literally 100% a business of opportunity.
Uh-huh. And I'll be the first person to say that if you're already getting recognized by some of these guys that have been in the industry for a very long time and have done the dance, like Enzo, like Rhino, like Heath, like Silas, then I say it's only a matter of time before you actually get in somewhere. Now I know that it's usually a little bit harder for refs to get in because they're not as high priority as the wrestlers, and I don't mean that in any type of negative fashion whatsoever.
Oh no, it's absolutely.
Yeah, but if you have the correct work ethic and there are things that they see from you that are of value, then I know there are going to be companies that look at that and like, okay, we might actually want to use him. So,
Right.
all right, now let's hear the bad one.
There was a show. I was refereeing the worst match I have ever been involved in.
Oh boy.
To the point, like it's on my YouTube page actually. But I'll plug my YouTube page later. But it's at the point like I used that at my old like job where I taught safety. Like this is the importance of communication because of how bad this match was. Like you could tell they were not talking, they were not
Oh
listening to
dear
each other.
God.
The vet in the match was not taking control. There was like no conference to settle both people down.
Oh no.
And I sent the match to Matthew and was just like, dude, if you use this, use whatever you want. Because it was just, they were slipping on each other. Holds wouldn't stand. They were letting go of each other, just botch after botch after botch. And towards the tail end of the match, you can literally see my brain reset. Like it went from blue screen of death and rebooted just because of all of the crap that was going on. And at that point, with my brain resetting, like I'm pointing and I like pause. And during that reset, I was like, can I just fucking leave and just get my shit and go? Like not leave the match, just leave the show.
Oh damn.
Because of how bad it was. Like, I do not want to be a part of this. I don't want my name to be attached. I don't care that there are 320 fucking people here. I do not want to be here anymore. because of how bad it was. Like, and
Holy
I've
hell.
13 years, I had never experienced that until then. And I have not experienced it since, but just that one match. And I was talking to a couple of other referees and like one of our referee group chats. And I was like, at what point should have I taken over the match? And should I have? And Joe Copez, senior referee from HWA, he's HWA, OVW, he's been around. He's a mentor to a lot of people. He was like, honestly, if there was somebody in there that claimed to be a vet, you should have just let him sink or swim. Like, your job is to make them look good, but if they can't look good on their own, let them drown, man. Especially if somebody's been in there for a while. And like, okay, yeah, no, I totally get it.
I was gonna say, no, that sounds like a terrible situation to be in the middle of. Like I wouldn't want to be anywhere near that. Like I don't blame you for wanting to leave the show as quickly as you did. I would have wanted to do the same thing.
I stayed around for like the rest of it. Like, after that match, I had like 2 more. I think there's a clip of me floating around where I get super kicked and I land out of the ring because I just go through the ropes. That was that same show. So I stuck through it, but
okay.
It was, that's the first time and the only time that has ever happened to me.
Right. I get that. Sorry you ended up having to deal with that. Now, we were talking a little bit about your weight earlier, and I did notice that recently you have decided to put yourself a bit more on the diet. Now, I myself, I always like talking about nutrition. I always like talking about all this because I've recently started going on a bit of a diet myself, opposite where I'm trying to gain weight, gain muscle. I didn't like how skinny I've been over the last few years, so I've decided now to go in head first with trying to gain 30 pounds of muscle. I've gained 11 so far. So Tyler, tell us a little bit about your journey.
So when I was in Louisville, like when I first started, like I said, I weighed 160 pounds wearing children-sized t-shirts. So I needed to start putting on mass, especially if I wanted to be a wrestler. When I went to, when I was with Cody, I had a decent diet, putting on muscle. There was a lot of protein. And then when I got to Louisville, kind of the same thing, but I was like literally at 195 pounds. I had no body fat at this point, and like I could not gain any more mass. I was like 250 grams of protein, and just like I couldn't get any more. I'm not gonna say who said it, but I went to them and I was like, I can't get any more mass. What can I do? Like, I'm lifting constantly. I'm at the gym 3 hours a day. I'm doing rotations correctly. I'm switching groups as I should, letting muscle recovery happen. And he's like, Butters, I'm not going to say to do steroids, but steroids help.
Oh, wow.
I didn't do it. There's a few things I did promise my dad I wouldn't do. Death matches, steroids, and flying headbutts. But, you know, after a while, like I did take a break from wrestling for a minute. I was still involved in doing spot shows. I did gain a lot of weight, mostly because of being married. Also, like when you're working 12, 14-hour days, like you're not going to have time to go to the gym because as soon as you get home, you're making dinner and then you're going to bed.
Right.
So there's no time for working out because you're just too burnt out from anything else.
No, I completely understand that 100%.
So I gained, I got up to like 240, 250, and the past couple of years have been trying to work out, but really haven't been able to. My new job, I'm really much more able to work out, so I've been starting to lose weight. I've been in like 2X for a while now,
Right.
size 40, 42-inch jeans, and at 5'6", 245, 250 pounds. That's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. So I
Unfortunately,
just,
no, it's not.
yeah. So I've been kind of losing. It's been baby steps, but still just a lot of protein again,
Hmm.
a lot leaner, staying off of fats and sugars. So it's good protein, good carbs, which is really hard. Like you want to eat bread, but bread's not a good carbohydrate. And
It's
then just
yeah. I'd say with bread, it really depends on the type of bread you're eating, right? Like if you're just getting like normal store bought white bread, like no, that's terrible.
yeah.
Now, if you're getting like a good sourdough or like pita bread or naan, that actually isn't a bad carb because those are usually very low in fat and they have a decent amount of protein in it also.
Oh yeah.
And I like me personally, I'll have a piece of pita bread before I go to the gym. Just because the extra carbs end up giving you extra energy when you're going into the gym for your workouts.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. So, with that being said, we've kind of changed up this final question for our last segment, only because I didn't feel like possibly getting a cease and assist from Malcolm Muscle. Now, and I feel like it's fitting because just about everyone we bring on here is on a fucking diet. So, I mean, everyone understands when I say the term takeaway day. I'm going to assume you know what I mean when I say takeaway day.
Nope.
Oh, like a cheat day.
Oh, cheat day. Yeah.
All right. So, it's your takeaway day. What is your takeaway meal?
It's pizza.
Yeah, what kind of pizza?
Pep bacon, basically. Like I travel a lot for my shoot job, so
Okay.
like a Sabaros that's along a truck stop or whatever is typically going to be it.
Hey, look.
Unfortunately,
Hey, look. I'm gonna just say this: like Sabaros needs to get a lot more respect than it gets. Like that. Like Sabaros is goaded. Their
yeah,
pizza is good.
it is. Like that. There's a reason why I go to it constantly. It's not oh, yeah, I go into Sabaros because it's there. No, like I have on my route to Wisconsin, I knew exactly where to stop. And then on my route to Pennsylvania, like around the Philly area, there's exactly one place I'll go, and they
Uh
both
huh.
have the Sabaros. Like I'm intentionally seeking them out.
Hell yeah. Yeah. No. Like I said, Sabaros is legit. They deserve a lot more respect on their name. Now, before we hop off of here, Tyler, is there anything you would like to plug?
Yep. All right. Coming up for me, Armbar, July 25th, the Springfield Metropolis. Ben Boone is going to be taking on Troy Parker for the Ascend Pro, or sorry, not the Ascend, the Armbar Pro Championship Wrestling Championship. And the winner is going to take on Spencer Slades in August at Mercer County Shipyard. I did actually have a chance to work with Spencer last week. Fantastic dude to work with. That match was just so much fun, so easy. And it's one of the few times I didn't have to say the words hard cam to anybody in the match.
That's funny.
And then August 8th will be the Ascend Pro Wrestling Anniversary Show. It's going great for them, though, as they're actually starting to tape and edit matches again, and we just found a new, bigger arena. Ascend normally at the Norwood Rec Center, we can hold about 350, but the new venue that we're getting, it can hold easily double that. We can probably
Nice.
push 600-700 people easily.
Very nice. And do you guys typically get a lot of people?
Yeah. Armbar, depending where we are, we're easily doing 200 people. The last show we had actually was at the Piqua Center. It was about 200 people, just shy of it, especially for a show that's like first time there. And
Mm-hmm.
we're going up against a company that's been in Piqua for 15, 20 years. So
Very
and
nice.
then yeah, and Ascend itself, they usually do around 250, 300 people. Even on days like you don't expect it. We've gone up against WWE pay-per-view and also a Bengals Steelers game, and we still did easy 350.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then August 30th with Old Wrestling. I won't be there, but future things, they always get into the way. But that one is going to have Carson Drake, Gregory Iron, Mad Dog Matt Cross, and Nick Nimitz. That will be, where is that? August 30th. Oh, yeah, the Huron County Fairgrounds in Norwalk, Ohio. That one's going to be a fun one.
You said Norfolk or Norwalk?
Norwalk.
That's not far from Columbus. I might have to check that out.
I thought it was like halfway in between like Columbus and where is that theme park at?
Cincinnati?
No, further north.
I'm trying to remember. I know which one you're talking about. I know which theme park you're talking about. I mean,
yeah. Sandusky. Yeah, it's about like halfway in between. No, it's closer to Sandusky than anything, but still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely see if I could check that out. I'll have to check my schedule and for sure.
Yeah, that one's really fun time. I've never had a bad match, a bad show there. We treat wrestling like it's the 1920s.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Donna, is anything you would like to plug before we hop off here?
I think we're good since we knocked them all out last night and UW on Monday for possibly a new WWE champion.
Yep. We got coming up in 30 minutes. We got Irish Whips and Arm Drags coming up with an interview. Okay, well, that's news to me. I guess I have another interview to do after this. The Irish Whips and Arm Drags coming up in 30 minutes with another interview, apparently, Donnaise. I really wish they would give me more of a heads up on this. Fucking last Sunday, they fucking text me while I'm in the middle of eating dinner. Hey, we're interviewing Carrie Moore in. Oh, okay, when? In 30 minutes. Oh, okay.
Well,
those Carrie and Ricky are always fun to work with. I've had a couple matches with them.
Oh, he's saying W interview. Never mind. We don't have an interview. I overreacted. Okay. That's my fault. My fault. Sorry. Your interview is a W, dummy. Okay. Hey, don't call me a dummy. I swear to God, you have to see me in 30 minutes. I'll kill you. Now, all right. Everyone listening
Kill Aaron, because I'm not trying to be an accessory today. And I'm sure Tyler is not either.
Before we get off here, everyone, NWALiveEvents.com. Go buy your tickets for NWA 78 coming up in Philly. Tickets are selling very, very, very quickly, so you might want to buy them before they're sold out. Then August 22nd.
They are almost sold out.
They are. Like, legitimately. I'm not joking here. I'm not just trying to upsell tickets. They are legitimately almost gone. Okay?
Yeah, when I bought my ticket, I bought mine front row just so I could hassle Dalton and Vaughn, and that there was like a handful of seats left.
Yeah, no, there are. Okay, so just so everyone is aware, there are no front row. There are very, very few front row tickets left. Like maybe 10 or maybe 15 or 20. Not a whole lot. So go buy your tickets now. NWALiveEvents.com. August 22nd, NWA will be back in Tampa Bay for a double TV taping for Power. And then a little birdie tells me that there's going to be another announcement happening after Power today. So stay tuned and keep your eyes on that. Stay tuned on social media. Stay tuned on the website. Something will be added today. So stay tuned for all that.
I actually just checked. The entire front row is sold out, and second row is scattered.
That's what I mean. The second row is almost gone because like the first two rows are usually considered front row. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But anywho, with all that being said, we will be on here next week with Wilson Dyer and his missus, JC Black. That one is, it's going to be funny. I can't even put it any other way. I love Wilson. I've been friends with him for almost 2 years now. Dude's a really great guy. And just wait until next week, y'all. Let's just say there's a funny story between how Wilson and JC met. All right. Later, y'all.
I mean, he is basically family at this point.
Oh, no, he is family. He's RTC family. That's why I got to fuck with him so much. All right, guys.
Yeah.
See ya.
Later.